Thank you, Mr. Barra, for yielding. I just wanted to ask, for the purposes of understanding the minority and the majority bill by comparison, is it my understanding, and perhaps Mr. Brooks knows this, whether the programs that are supported at the Marshall Space Flight Center, which I believe is in your district, several hundred actually companies that do business there and with thousands of workers, and whether the minority proposal with significant reductions in the SLS Orion program would result in job loss in Alabama. And I would yield for the purposes of Mr. Brooks being able to respond to that question. We cannot shift from those accounts to the other, and so I guess I'm just curious, as a member of Congress who wants to see that we adequately fund an SLS and Orion program, that the minority bill, if enacted, would result in the loss of thousands of jobs at Marshall Space Flight Center and the attendant companies in the private sector who have support for that work. And in addition to that, I understand, and perhaps Mr. Posey of Florida could respond to this question as to how many jobs will be lost in and around Kennedy Space Center with the attendant cuts in funding to those programs and to the work that goes on at the Kennedy Space Center. Mr. Posey? I want to point out for the gentleman from Florida that given the cuts that are proposed that would result in loss of jobs at the Ground Processing Directorate, which was opened in 2011, supporting 21st century ground systems programs and the Space Launch System and heavy lift rocket, it would be clear that there would be a significant additional job loss including what the gentleman has already suggested, and that if he would take a look, and I would urge the gentleman from Alabama as well to take a look at the majority proposal, because both of those proposals, in fact, ensure that we have a 21st century innovation program that would grow, both sustain and grow jobs in and around Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama and the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And with that, I would yield back to Mr. Barra.
Great. I'll go ahead and yield back my time.
Record that the fiscal 2014 request was $1.384.9 million. The Democratic alternative is 1.65, and the Republican is 1.802. But again, that is all of those lines tallied together. And so all of us are, frankly, above what the President requested. But we've reported the bill out. It's time for us to adjourn. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.